What's up, and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Yay, Courtney, we are back. We just had a little therapy session. I'm feeling better. I'm breathing.
My chakras are clear.
Yes, 2024 is going to be our year. Everyone watch out. Here's your warning now. It's going to be good.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. I love a little goal discussing.
Yeah.
Gotta have some goals.
I was going to say, actually, I feel like if you are friends with somebody who you do not actively discuss your goals, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like that's a sign of a good friendship. I feel like as we get older, if you're not around people who are, you know, consistently talking about leveling up, I feel like that's not necessarily a great thing. You know what I mean?
I agree. And we've leveled up together. Look at us.
Look at us now, Toast to Teapot. Just saying.
Look at us now.
Look at her now. Obviously,
Maddison,
we can't go without a Selena reference. Yes.
Before I forget, before we really dive into the meat and potatoes and the tea bag of it all, are we calling the girlies that are listening to and watching our podcast the community? Because when I did the community note, I wrote community because I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Are we keeping that, y'all? Also for the listeners and viewers, is that okay? Community?
I like community because we have the best community.
Right? Exquisite.
We're hot in multiple ways. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Look at us, y'all. We hot. We the hottest community on the podcast.
Wait, I
airwaves.
like that. Yes.
Right?
Wait, I'm living for it. I hope everyone agrees because I want to keep it. So
we'll make it a poll on Spotify for the girls to vote on.
Yes, absolutely. I love that idea. Courtney, are you having a good week?
Maddison, I'm having a great week. I'm trying to think about what has happened this week that I've done, or at least since the last time we've done the podcast. Madison, girl, we had this whole entire therapy session. I didn't even tell you about me meeting Andy Cohen.
Oh my God. Oh my God, duh. You know what?
I forgot.
I'm dying because it was so funny, Courtney, when you posted that on Instagram. So I was in Kansas City, obviously. And when you posted on Instagram, my sister saw it and she was like, oh my God, Courtney met Andy Cohen. And I was like, okay, confession, he did text me when the moment happened. So I'm not seeing it for the first time on Instagram. She's like, you didn't tell me. I was like, we were in the middle of a Christmas Carol. Like I couldn't interrupt Ebenezer Scrooge.
You can't interrupt that.
No, but it was so funny. She was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, I know you're looking for my reaction to be equal to yours, but I already had that reaction because he already told me.
Madison Hill, can I tell you, I'm such a nerd, first of all. I like don't know how to meet people. So let me give y'all the backstory. So there's a food festival called Chain Fest, and it's the first ever chain restaurant food festival. So there was like Red Robin, Dunkin' Donuts, Sonic, so many chain restaurants, and I was invited as a special VIP guest of Chili's. They have like this new
perfect.
Girl, you know
we just talked about Chili's last week.
You know I love me some baby back. I want my baby back. So they had a baby back ribwich, which was like their specialty item that they had in a special margarita. And I was shooting content, and girl, I turned around and there was John Mayer and Andy Cohen, girl.
I'm dying. For people who don't know, Andy Cohen and John Mayer are like besties.
Yes.
John Mayer had context.
John Mayer had the long trench coat on. And him and Andy were just kikiing. If you would not know that they were John Mayer and Andy Cohen, you would just think that they were two regular guys. Like everyone else that was celebrities there, like I missed because they just looked so regular. Miranda Cosgrove was even there. I didn't see her. So the night goes on. I finish shooting my content. I have 2 cocktails to work up my courage. And the night is winding down. And Maddison, I have to make this reference. My dear friend Anch was on this television program called Paris Hilton's My New BFF. And on the first episode of this reality show, the challenge was to meet Paris Hilton. Paris comes into the party and you're supposed to go up to meet her. And the losers were the people that could not catch Paris before she left the party. Girl, the party was winding down. I said, I'm going to lose this life challenge if I don't meet Andy Cohen right now. Girl, I walked up to him and I said, hi, Andy. Ever so innocently. And he's like, hey. He's like, hey.
Andy loves a libation, a beveragino, just as much as we do, which is why we love Andy Cohen. Okay.
I loved it. And I just kind of like introduced myself. Obviously, I told him I loved Housewives. I was like, I love everything that you do. I love Watch What Happens Live. I went on and on and on. He was so sweet. He like asked me what my last name was. I was like, oh my God, you better get my government. And I was like, oh, my last name is Revolution. He was like, Revolution? And I was like, yeah, I'm revolutionary a bit. He was like, oh, really? He was really, he was really nice.
That is freaking funny.
So
that's iconic.
I asked him for a selfie and I took out my big light. He was like, I love this light you have. And that's why the picture came out so great. My big, huge light, click, click.
I will say I'm no longer embarrassed about those lights because I feel like, look at that selfie with Andy Cohen. It looks professional.
If you lose the moment, you will lose a lot. Hillary Duff, girl, and I wasn't going to lose it.
Exactly. You do not want Paris Hilton to go TTYN. Do you remember how she did that when she
girl, you know I know, girl.
TTYN.
TTYN, girl.
Nothing hits like that. She's talking
That's
to you.
One reality show I thought I was going to grow up to win, Maddison. I just want to put that out there.
If it was still around, you would have won. If it was still here, you would have won.
Paris, you need a BFF?
Literally. I feel like do a mini competition on Paris in Love, which I need to watch because I've been seeing the clips. But I'm living for the Andy Cohen moment. And Andy Cohen, when you hear this, just know if you ever need some people to fill in for a Housewives reunion, Courtney and I got you covered times 10.
We'll be the correspondents.
Yes, exactly.
Backstage, girl. We're in the dressing room.
No problem calling them out. We already interviewed a couple Real Housewives of Atlanta back in the day.
You better talk about Kenya Moore and Marlo Hampton.
Exactly. And Heather Dubrow is my icon, basically. Ooh. She's who I want to be when I grow up. So we're ready. We're ready.
I love a positive interaction. And that definitely was kind of went better.
I'm so happy he lived up to the hype. Because you know how sometimes you meet people who you really admire their career and then you meet them and you're like, oh, damn, they sucked. Like, that's so annoying. Yeah. And I'm so happy that Andy Cohen was not one of those people because I love him dearly.
It would have crushed me, Maddison. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I watch Bravo every single day. It would have crushed me.
I'm so happy that he was lovely. And I think I like it even better hearing that he was super low key. Like he wasn't even trying to be like, I'm Andy Cohen. Like he's like, I'm also trying to eat the baby back rib sandwich.
Girl. The food, just the whole vibe of the food festival itself was dope. If they have another one, you are coming with me, period.
Yes, you know, I love the food, always. I talk about food way too freaking much. That's literally all I did in Kansas City. Well, not all I did, but I feel like I had to get my ranch fix. I
was going to say, what was the favorite? What was your favorite thing you ate?
I'm so happy. I got my favorite pizza that has my favorite ranch. I had barbecue, obviously. We just ate at our favorite Mexican place because nowhere in LA has white queso dip, which I recognize white queso dip is not authentic, but it is delicious. You know what I mean? Like a white cheesy queso dip.
Maddison, you funny as hell. She said, where the hell the white queso at?
Well, because I know people are going to be like, that's not authentic. And like, trust me, I know I'm half Spanish.
It's authentic to your heart.
It's good. You know, sometimes not everything needs to be authentic as long as it's delicious. And it is delicious. I also, Courtney, I was so pissed because one of the girls I went to Greece with was at you saw this in the headlines, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce going to a Miracle Christmas bar pop-up in Kansas City. Yeah, one of the girls I went to Greece with was at the bar at the same time as them and literally saw them. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And to make that, like, this girl's great, but she's not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. And she even said, she was like, I feel guilty that I'm experiencing this and, like, not you and my other friend because we're the biggest Swifties. But I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're there? But she saw her and she said she looked stunning. She was not overdone, like, just very minimal makeup, tall, stunning. Her and Travis were wearing the matching sweaters that we've seen. With the squirrel on them to make fun of the way he couldn't spell squirrel in his tweets.
Bless him.
And I'm living. I'm living.
You
for
said,
them.
I'm so happy for you. I just wish it happened to me.
Yeah, literally. Like, love this for you. It should have happened to me, but it's fine. But by proxy, I feel like it's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's fine.
Do you think that if you were in a restaurant and Taylor Swift and Travis were having dinner somewhere in the restaurant, would you go up to that table and say something? What do you think you would do? I don't know what I would do in that situation.
We talked about this, my friends and I, because, obviously they're going to get married and possibly settle down in Kansas City. So I probably should be prepared for this moment to happen. And here's the thing. I normally, when I would see a celebrity, would never bother them because we live in LA. We see celebrities all the time.
True.
That's not something we need to be doing. But for Taylor Swift, it would be hard for me because Taylor Swift is like one of the top 3 people I would want to meet. So I'm just hoping that I don't ever run into her in that scenario because I feel like I would break my rule. And I'm hoping I run into her when we're interviewing her one day. So then it's fine. So then when I see her at the restaurant after that, I'll be like, hey girl, we're old friends. Like, hey Trav, hey, what's up? So nice to see you guys again.
Fancy seeing you here.
Hey, did you get the ranch? Like, you know what I mean? Just very casual, friendly. That's what I'm hoping for.
Girl, let's manifest it. Let's just
We're
manifest
manifesting it. It's happening. It's happening.
Taylor,
So,
come into our lives.
We're ready. No pressure. We're ready for it. Okay. You don't have to ask. We're ready. Just
Very
say.
that. Very that.
Okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and cheers to the tea. We're going to talk more about Taylor later, obviously.
Okay.
But I have my peach Waterloo because I love peach.
I got my Dunkin' Grill. You
Oh my
already
God.
know.
That looks delish. Delish. Okay.
Delicious.
Courtney, we're going to kick things off talking about Nelly and Ashanti. So for those of you who don't know, I feel like this is so exciting. Nelly and Ashanti are expecting their first child together. This is Ashanti's first child, Nelly's third. This confirmation is coming from Us Magazine after Nelly and Ashanti seemingly announced the pregnancy at Nelly's charity event in St. Louis, which I love that he did it at the charity event, obviously in his hometown, makes complete sense. Now, the reason why people are absolutely losing it over this is because Nelly and Ashanti were like that couple when they dated. They dated on and off between 2003 and 2013, but they sparked reconciliation rumors back in April of this year, and now they're literally having a baby.
Do you think that it's possible? Do you think that it's possible, Maddison, for you to get back the one that got away? Is that what this is?
I feel like we're kind of seeing a trend of that happening.
With like J-Lo and stuff?
J-Lo and Ben, Ashanti and Nelly. I am here for it. And I kind of feel like it shows that sometimes in life it can be the right person, but not the right time.
I agree.
And then when that right time comes, I mean, look, they're literally having a baby. Like, it doesn't even matter.
One thing about Nelly and Ashanti is they just always look so in love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are two people that are truly effortlessly in love. So this is like beautiful news. You know, they're going to have a very beautiful family. They're almost kind of like a different dimension version of like Sierra and Russell. Like, just beautiful family, you know?
Yes. And I'm so here for it. Also, obviously, 2000s hip-hop was like my favorite time in music, and I still haven't found a time that is as good. So obviously seeing Nelly and Ashanti together, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm unwell.
Our millennial faves are having their sunset moment in a positive way. Like, I think about like Cassie, everything that she's been through, and now, hopefully she's happy with her coin and her family. The same thing with Ashanti. She went through things with Irv Gotti and stuff like that back in the day, and it's good that they've both found sort of their happy endings,
Exactly. Which, since you brought up Cassie, I feel like this is just a nice little segue to go into our next topic. Because
it's me and you.
Now.
What's going on, girl?
Well, we have more Diddy drama.
Not this. Oh, yeah. Oh, girl. Drama.
So let's do our trigger warning, because this lawsuit
we're gonna speak about some things.
You guys, it's bad. It is bad.
It's bad.
So, Courtney, after Cassie came out, 2 other women filed lawsuits against Diddy. His attorney was trying to kind of already combat them and say, they filed their lawsuits a day before this law is up in New York. Like, let's not even pay attention to that. Which would be easier if a fourth woman, did not file a lawsuit this week. She is going by Jane Doe in the lawsuit. She claims that Diddy and 2 other men ganged her when she was 17. This incident allegedly took place in 2003. One of the 2 men, she claims, is the former president of Bad Boy Entertainment, Harvey Pierre.
He's on Making the Band.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, when I saw his picture, I was instantly transported back to that time.
Sketchy.
I know. The 3rd man is just named as 3rd assailant in the lawsuit. Now, what Jane Doe claims happened is that she went to Diddy's studio where she was allegedly given copious amounts of alcohol. Keep in mind, she was 17 at the time.
That's
before
insane.
Diddy and these other men took turns. Now, the Shade Room did post photos that Jane Doe included in her lawsuit, proving she was in the studio on the night of the alleged incident. There's photos of her with Diddy. There's photos of her posing around the studio. So she was there. They can't deny that at the very least, he was hanging out with a 17-year-old. Okay. After this woman filed her lawsuit, this is the first time we saw Diddy actually speak out himself. He posted a statement on Instagram and said, "For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth."
So go to trial, Puffy. It's very simple. So go to trial, Puff.
I also feel like I would believe this more if you didn't settle with Cassie within 24 mother effing hours.
It's giving R. Kelly. Like, it's giving R. Kelly. I'm just going to say it. Like, R. Kelly vehemently was like, "I didn't do it. Y'all trying to kill." R. Kelly, you did it. And that's why you're in jail. And girl, it's the start. It's the start. It's almost like, it's weird that we're old enough to almost kind of like see this twice, because my mind immediately goes to Bill Cosby. It's almost like history repeating itself. What was y'all doing back then? Y'all couldn't get nobody without substances. Y'all rich, powerful, good, decent looking at the time. Like, I don't understand why we gotta assault women, people in general, to get all of this across.
I just don't even know why you would invite a 17-year-old into your studio, period.
Period.
That for me,
Let's start there.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, you're nasty.
Why you were hanging out with a teenager in your studio, regardless. Anything that happened beyond that, obviously disgusting and wrong. But that's what for me is number 1 red freaking flag. And I completely agree with you that there's parallels to R. Kelly. And, you know, I also think too, like when I read Diddy's statement initially, I for a second was like, oh my gosh, what if he really didn't? And now, you know, I feel like him and R. Kelly are master manipulators. They have manipulated us in the public for so long. Remember that interview that R. Kelly did with Gayle King? Gayle? Yes.
Sobbing for what?
And he like stood up and he's like pounding on his chest, like, "I'm fighting for my life." I remember watching that interview and for a second I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, Maddison, snap the F out of it. You watched the Lifetime documentary. You're not a freaking idiot. Let's remember here. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like these guys are so good at manipulating the public that there are still fans out there who are helping R. Kelly with his freaking appeal.
Yeah,
I almost just cursed because it's so asinine to me. So people are doing that to Diddy too. There are people like, "We believe you. We're here for you. This is a money." And I'm like, y'all, there are photos of him with a 17-year-old on his lap.
That's a mess.
His ex-head of security said, I saw what I saw.
I feel like the floodgates are open. Are we going to get a new accusation against Diddy each week? Every other week? Every month? It just seems like all the timing is just so interesting. Once Cassie came out, anybody could come out now.
Do you
Tell
think
your
there's
story.
Do you think there's going to be more women?
I think that there will be more women. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some more accusations, and I'm very curious to see where they are going to come from. And I'm interested also, Maddison, to be honest, who else from Diddy's team is going to come out with another story of I stood by and watched this happen and this is how it happened. You know, because it's all people that, like, as weird as it sounds, we grew up watching them on TV in some capacity. So I'm interested, you know, who has seen what?
Because you know there's more. He had a big team.
There's more. Girl.
He has multiple businesses. There's a lot of people involved.
Girl. Speak out and speak up. Don't sign no NDAs. We nosy.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on to a little bit of a lighter subject, one of your favorite subjects, if you will. Miss Nicki Minaj, because she is the Barbs actually are leading social media to gag city. So Nicki Minaj's fans, for everyone who doesn't know, they call themselves the Barbs. They have taken marketing to the next mother effing level in promotion of Nicki's new album, Pink Friday 2, which will be out, Courtney, by the time our episode is here. So everyone get excited. Courtney will be listening.
My life is on Do Not Disturb.
I was going to say, you won't be responding to any comments because you will be listening to Nicki's album. So just saying, I'm letting everyone know. He'll be taking a personal day by the time this episode comes out. This calls back to, obviously, Nicki's Pink Friday 2 album cover where she's riding a subway into the city. Now, the popularity of the gag city trend has caused huge brands and celebrities to participate as well. Obviously, we got Spotify, Cinnabon, Netflix, Tyga, rapper BIA, even Jackie. They've all posted their own imaginings of gag city on social media.
That's Bia, girl.
Shout out to Bia. Shout out to AI, I guess. Really?
Girl. AI, girl. The Bing image AI generator, girl.
AI
really
scares
helped
me.
us out. You don't like the AI? Girl, you don't got to use your face. You could just build a little home.
No,
girl, we've been building mansions, girl.
I know everyone already has my information off of TikTok, but AI is where I draw the line. As much as I want to support Nicki's Gag City, I've got to draw the line.
I love it just because there have been complaints from what we call the manager Barbs, which are basically fans that are always telling Nicki what to do. About, you know, there being a lack of promotion and rollouts and et cetera, and this trend really sort of gave everyone something that they could participate in. And it really kind of brought everyone together before the album dropped. I thought it was a really cool trend. So I had tweeted last night, okay, y'all, sorry I'm late, girl, but here, and I posted my little, my lair. I'm calling it a lair. And it has a little spaceship outside. So y'all want to come over to my listening party, y'all will have to find that tweet and come on over. I'm located at 223 Gag City. I just feel like the Barbs are unstoppable when it comes to promoting Nicki. Like, truly. Oh, yeah.
They go to lengths that not many other fan bases go to. I would probably say, like, Barbs are number one. Swifties are really a close second. Celidators are also pretty crazy. We got the
Beehive too, girl.
As well. Beehive in there as well. But the Barbs, really, they will take you down hard if you come for their girl. And they will do whatever they need to do to make sure she is lifted to the top. So I actually love that they just came up with this on their own. And I love that brands and celebrities are like listening to the Barbs. That shows you the power. And I always love the Barbs because they defended our honor. So
this album is going to be massive. Just the thought of it, Maddison. It's been like, what, 4 or 5 years since Nicki's dropped an album. I'm very curious just to hear what she's got to say at this point. But I'm very excited. Very excited.
Think about how much has happened in her life since her last album. She's married. She has a baby. I did think it was funny. When she was talking to Vogue, she's like, you know, I've tamed things down a little bit because I feel weird being a mother and, you know, saying some of the things that she said. But I feel like it's going to be iconic no matter what. It's Nicki. Like, how is Nicki not iconic? I can't wait.
You get it, Maddison. You get it.
Well, obviously, because I have taste. Not everyone has taste. We talk about this a lot. Because Courtney and I get riled up and then we're like, we have to remind ourselves, not everyone has taste. It's unfortunately, you're not born with it. You acquire it, and not everyone has acquired it.
Very that, Maddison.
You know what I mean? What are you going to do?
It's going to be a beautiful Pink Friday. Actually, happy Pink Friday if you're listening to this.
Happy Pink Friday, everybody.
The day that the episode drops. But girl, it's been a beautiful week.
And go visit Courtney in his Gag City layer.
Yes, come on over, y'all. Girl, we got some popcorn and Rice Krispies. Come on over.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, Courtney, let's move on and talk about Billie Eilish because after we just were talking about Tiana on our last episode and her Variety interview with SZA, Miss Billie tried to come for our friend this week. And
I was not happy.
I was not happy either. I did a live on my YouTube channel earlier this week and I was fuming at the ears pretty much. I mean, I looked like a freaking cartoon character with the upper lip swept. But for those of you who don't know what happened, so Billie Eilish appeared at Variety's Hitmakers event, which featured a red carpet interview with our friend Tiana. If you watched us at our old job, you saw Tiana come on sometimes. We love Tiana. We love her wife.
Yes.
And I also just want to clarify that this red carpet interview happened after Billie Eilish already did a cover shoot and interview with Variety, where she volunteered the information that she also likes girls.
Yes, ma'am.
So if Billie had never volunteered that information to Variety initially, Tiana would have never had to have done her job and asked a follow-up question. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So while I'm going to actually read Billie's direct quote while she was speaking to Variety initially, just to give y'all a little context. So, and this is what Tiana was referencing. So while she spoke to Variety, she said, quote, "I've never really felt like I could relate to girls very well. I love them so much. I love them as people. I'm attracted to them as people. I'm attracted to them for real." Now, when Tiana was like, "Did you intend to come out in such a big way?" Billie acted like it was no big deal. She was like, "I didn't even know that I was coming." She actually said, "I didn't know people didn't know. Like, I didn't know that people didn't already know this information about me. I didn't plan on it." And she talked about how actually she made a joke, like she's still scared of girls, but she thinks they're pretty. Like, when you watch the interview, it is seemingly not a big deal at all. Even after they have this conversation, Tiana goes on to ask Billie Eilish about her new album, what we can expect. You know, I've heard this from Phineas. They hugged after the interview. Billie goes her separate way. Tiana did her job. All is well. Then
Or
all
so
of a
we
sudden-
thought.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, Billie took to Instagram and said, "Thanks, Variety, for my award and also for outing me on a red carpet at 11 a.m. instead of talking about anything else that matters. I like boys and girls. Leave me alone about it, please. Literally, who cares? Stream what I was made for." Courtney, I'm not going to lie, I was super pissed off when I saw that.
I'm not going to lie either. I was pissed off when I saw that as well, because like you said, Maddison, had Billie not made her comments in the cover story, Tiana would not have felt comfortable enough to follow up. And also, obviously, we're biased, but I mean,
yes, of course.
y'all could listen to Tiana's podcast that she does with her wife and know that if there's anybody that's not going to out somebody, it's definitely Tiana. Like she's very like protective and wanting to make a safe space for people just in general. And so when Billie, I felt like manipulated the situation by writing that in the caption, it put a really bad taste in my mouth because obviously we know Tiana and she just would never do that. She would never do that.
Never.
And also don't volunteer that information if you are not to some degree ready to be thrust out into that platform. Because if you offer the information, if the information winds up being out there, the media is going to want to discuss it. Now, of course, if she didn't want to, she could have politely said to Tiana anything to kind of shut it down without it being like a rude or tense situation. But I hate the fact that it looks optically like she didn't mind at all. And then all of a sudden you get online and it's like, well, all right, Variety, how could you? Like, you know,
Well,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You offered that information during your initial interview. So I think what happened is she offered that information. That's what made headlines. Because if you saw the headlines the next day, Billie Eilish reveals she's bisexual. Everyone was like, hell yeah, Billie.
We were supporting her.
We love it. Everyone embraced the information. I did see she lost some followers.
Girl, who cares?
Which I agree with you. To me, if you are following me and you do not like me for me, and you do not support me for me, goodbye. Then that's fine. I don't want you following me anyway. Also, why would you follow someone who you don't like or who you don't support? Like, that sounds like a waste of time for you. So I feel like, I don't know if someone on her team or what got her all riled up after everyone is embracing her. And even people were initially applauding Tiana for being like, I'm gay. This is a safe space. Like, we can talk about this. Like, everyone was like, look at the reporter making her feel safe. Like, you know, I'm like, so it's crazy to me that within literally 12 hours of y'all seeing that interview and applauding her, then all of a sudden Billie Eilish was like, thanks, Variety. And now everyone's like, yeah, super, super messed up. Which actually, I will say, a lot of the commentary I was seeing, a lot of people were on Tiana's side, being like, wait, what? I missed it. There was even a Reddit thread that, and you know, I'm like, if Reddit is not, you know, there was even a whole Reddit thread that was like, wait, I'm confused. Billie offered that information. The reporter was just asking her about what she already said. So again, yes, of course we're biased because she's our friend. And like I said, I love her and I love her wife. And Courtney, I know you do too.
Same,
we were all at her wife's birthday party. Like,
like,
you know what I mean?
Like we love us some like we love them. Like,
I know we're biased, so I'm sure some of you are gonna be like, well, could you even look at it from a non-biased perspective? And we could. Like, we have the relationship with her that if she did do something wrong, I'd be like, Tiana, girl, what?
Yeah, we would be like,
oh
my God.
Oh my God.
Did y'all see what Tiana said? Oh my God. It wasn't that kind of situation, which is why it pissed me off.
Me too.
Billie, go and sell some fragrances.
I said, when I was texting her about this, I'll admit, I said, you know what? That's, Billie is now kind of a no for me, honestly. Like, if, I'm sorry.
Madison said you're done.
You know, celebrities who came for you when you were on the circle.
Absolutely.
You know, one of which I had personally met, had his phone number, had been with professionally several times. And I said, after that, I'm sorry. No, I don't care if you're a celebrity, you have more money than me. I don't care. You do something to one of my friends, it's a no for me.
Yeah, I agree. It came all sneaky and manipulative to me. Because like if you're trying to manipulate the optics for your audience.
Yes.
And like that was a good example of a great reporter, you know?
Thank you.
That was my opinion.
Sorry, Billie.
Sorry, Bills.
We're Team Tiana on this one.
100 million quadrillion %. Tiana, you ate that.
Exactly. Okay. Now let's move on to our final discussion. And one of that I've been waiting to hear your thoughts on. I feel like this is good. You guys should know that Courtney and I purposely try to save our opinions on things for the podcast. Like, not text about them so that way you guys get our in-time real reactions. Courtney, Taylor Swift, our girl, was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Initial thoughts.
Well, yes. Like, I get it. I know that there were people that were upset, but I mean, Taylor has had a massive, 2 years? For me, ever since the first re-record went out, Taylor has just been a locomotive, going. Not to say that there are not other people, other artists, other creatives in general that haven't had the same, year. But I think that the visibility, the records broken, Cruel Summer from 2019 coming out and, #1, like there are few that you can mention in the same conversation as Taylor Swift, obviously Beyonce being the other.
And Beyonce was talked about a lot in the article.
Of course. But I loved it. I love that she was up there with the damn cat. Like,
Me too. My cat. I lived for the article. I thought the writer did a fantastic job. And I feel like the whole theme of the piece was about how Taylor Swift has taken some of the worst times of her life and career, these big setbacks, and she's turned them, and they led her to some of the greatest moments and, biggest moments of her career. Obviously, she discussed the Kim Kardashian Kanye West phone call. She said she felt like it was a career death and that her career was, quote, taken away from her. She discussed Scooter Braun, obviously buying her masters from Scott Borchetta. She called him trash. And I mean, not like straight up called him trash, but basically
the trash gonna take itself out.
That was me when I clutched the pearls, gag when I read that.
I said, get him again for me, Taylor.
Literally, I was living for it. I love every freaking second of it. Also, obviously, her little side comments about Joe Alwyn when discussing her relationship with Travis Kelce. I was like, am I reading this correctly? Number one, Taylor's opening up about a boyfriend in an interview.
That
Big
was
mother
the,
effing
that was
deal.
the gag for me. Joe was
She did
keeping that
not do
girl
that.
prisoner.
Yeah.
Joe was keeping
Literally.
that girl prisoner because we ain't hear about Joe almost the whole damn relationship. Oh, Joe wrote a
And-
song. That's it.
No. And especially now that we know she wrote You're Losing Me in 2021, this man was not treating her the way she should be treated for
Yeah,
a long time.
I agree.
So she did confirm her and Travis met after he called her out on the podcast, which I loved that. She called the move metal as hell, which everyone's still talking about. And you know I'm a grandma, so when I read that in the article, I was like, metal as hell. I know it's obviously a good thing, but I need clarification of what that is. So I literally Urban Dictionary.
That's hardcore, girl.
Well, now I know that, but I was like, what does that mean? But yeah, it means like hardcore, badass.
Yeah.
I was like, metal as hell. I'm going to start using that. She also discussed, obviously, the difference between her relationship being public with him and her previous one. And I'm going to read the direct quote, and then I want to tell you one more thing about Kim Kardashian. So her quote was, when you say a relationship is public, that means I'm going to see him do what he loves. We're showing up for each other. Other people are there, and we don't care. The opposite of that is you have to go to an extreme amount of effort to make sure that no one knows that you're seeing someone. And we're just proud of each other.
Bam.
We're just proud of each other.
Bam. Meanwhile, Joe would rather throw her in a suitcase and hide her and throw her in the back of the Uber so nobody see them
Literally.
together. A mess. Taylor wants somebody she could go out and share a mozzarella stick with out in public, not in the hotel room, in the Red Robin.
Don't we all? That's what we all want. Just someone who can share a mozzarella stick with and dip it in ranch and marinara. We're not asking for much.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure Taylor feels the same way. I'm not asking for something for much. I just need somebody that's got a coin and is proud of me. Easy. That's like two main and treat me nice.
She's not asking for much.
Not much.
I was dying when she said that. I was like, oh my God, and I feel bad saying she shaded Joe, but that's the only word I can really use is shade. But it was more so just like, it was shade, but it is what it is shade. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't going for the jugular. It just is what it is. He wasn't man enough to be with her.
Do you think he'll ever talk about the relationship publicly, like in the media?
No.
You don't think so?
No, he couldn't even, if someone brought her up in an interview, he'd be like, I'm not answering that. If I say one thing,
boring.
I say the other thing. So no, I don't think so.
Boring.
I don't think he'll ever bring it up. Because then, exactly. Are you kidding me? He couldn't even handle her fame when they were together. You think he could handle anything after that? Like, no.
I'm so glad that Taylor and Travis are together because it just seems like they just remind me of just like these two high school sweethearts. Obviously, they're not, but they have that high school sweetheart energy to me where even after some time, after the graduation, they're just still so in love with each other. And I think that that's what I enjoy seeing when I see like pictures and stories of them in the media, you know?
I love them. Courtney, you've met my friend Abby, I'm pretty sure, at maybe a circle event. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, probably.
But she's friends with Mason and everyone, but she cracks me up. She's a big Swiftie, just like we are. But she says whenever she sees Taylor and Travis, it makes her feel patriotic. Like she's like,
but like,
I'm like, hell yeah, America. And I'm
they're
like,
so all-American.
So funny because she is just someone who it cracks me up that she says that. But she's like, it just makes me feel patriotic for the first time in a long time. And I'm like, girl, honestly, like, as hilarious as that is, like, you're not wrong. You're not
Maddison,
wrong.
I get it. That they are very all-American, like that hoorah. Like that's what the high school
They're
sweetheart
blonde,
energy.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's just, I don't know. I'm living for it. I cannot wait to see what happens. And just again, the fact that she talked about a man in an interview, especially with time, like anyone who's been a Taylor Swift fan for a long time knows that's a humongous deal. Like
She's
never has that happened. Yeah. They're just proud of each other.
Yeah.
They're proud of each other.
Oh, Taylor.
Something that's not making me cry though, Courtney, and I don't know how you're going to feel, but actually I already know. So, you know, obviously she brought up the Kim thing and people were like, what? The haters were like, why is she bringing up Kim Kardashian and Kanye? That was so long ago. How is she not over it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Kim still has not apologized. And this is coming
Really?
from TMZ. Brand new report. Sources are saying she has still not apologized to Taylor ever. Even at the time of us recording this podcast, y'all, Kim has not put anything out. It is 12:45 on Thursday. I just want y'all to know she has not put anything out. And apparently Taylor is willing to accept an apology from Kim, but it has to be public. What do you think about that? I agree, actually.
I agree.
That's what you and I have been saying from day one.
Maddison, I know I've told you this story before, but when people bring up, especially with this article being out with Taylor saying she felt like she lost her career, she's so dramatic. She's so dramatic. Maddison, I remember exactly where I was when Kim was tweeting, the stuff about Taylor. I was at Nobu in Santa Monica with not $1 to my name, sitting there with Ricky and my roommate at the time, drinking water because Nobu's expensive. And I was scrolling on my phone, and it just seemed like my whole timeline was bashing Taylor. And so in this particular situation, I definitely feel like the apology has to be as big as the disrespect. It ain't nothing for Kim to just apologize on behalf of women, and even put that to the side, girl, by behalf of women. How about as an example to your children? Not everybody's perfect. People mess up, people say mean things, and this is how you apologize. I think that it would be a beautiful example for Kim's children, for her to apologize publicly. And Taylor gonna send some flowers and some cookies, and they'll call it a chop. She'll be in a music video, and we'll move on. But I mean, what are we holding on to, Kim? Why the pride? You could dance in the little purple dress and do all these Swift-esque things, sneakily. North loves some Taylor. So, apologize and have Taylor come over the way you had Ice Spice.
How
about that?
Thank you. And my thing is, even if she truly feels like she did nothing wrong, because if you remember when the full video came out in 2020, we actually talked about that at our old job, and it vindicated Taylor. And Kim still, her tweets were like, well, the argument was never about the verbiage that was used. The argument was, did Kanye call her or not? So this full recording doesn't even change the narrative. And it's like, yeah, it did change the narrative, but okay. And then she was also like, I didn't edit the footage. I just decided which ones to upload to Snapchat. Housewives, they say, when you're splitting hairs, somebody's guilty.
Just say sorry.
My thing is, even if she genuinely feels like she never did anything wrong, if she still feels like, I stand by what I did, I don't know how you can read what Taylor said in the Time article and say, wow, but she was still hurt though. Like, even if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, I still think an apology is warranted, because clearly Taylor was hurt. I'm sorry my actions resulted in you feeling so psychologically down that you could not leave your house for a year.
She went to a whole different country.
That deserves a freaking apology.
I agree. It's nothing to say sorry.
No.
Two tweets.
Or honestly, just one. Actually, no, I need two. I need a little bit of a paragraph.
That's how I feel, girl. Let's get into why you're apologizing. And then, girl, go and tell Entertainment Tonight it was an example for your babies. That's good PR. And we'll literally be over this by Sunday. Like,
literally. And like you said, and Taylor will be too. Because I do think she's like, let's bury the hot shot. I'm done. But I do need, the public lashings were large. I need a public, I'm sorry.
I agree. Them snake emojis, girl. Too much.
You should see them in Kim's comments. Woo-hoo, I looked before we got on here.
See, if she would have said sorry, she would have had no snake. Girl, just say sorry, y'all. That's the point. That's the moral of the story.
Exactly. Okay, Courtney, I feel like this is a good time to bring us to our final segment.
Okay.
We're going to
put it in the teapot.
Yes. Don't forget, if you want us to read whatever you want to put in the teapot, whether it be personal or celebrity related, make sure to email us at toasttoteapod, and we will read whatever you want to put in the teapot on the next episode. Courtney, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Good, because I need to think about what I want to put in the teapot.
Silly.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
What I would like to put in the teapot for this week is the fear of letting go. I think what I have learned just over the past, I want to say like 4 or 5 years, is that I'm the kind of person that really enjoys holding on to things, even when they are past the expiration date. That means people, places, things, relationships, etc. And I want to encourage you to let things that are no longer serving you go, because when you let things go, I promise, I swear, the better things come on. Like they come to you and you attract them so easily, so quickly, but you have to be able to make what you may perceive to be a huge sacrifice. That huge sacrifice is going to bring you so much more. Some doors need to close, some locks need to be turned, but you have to be able to let go so that you can receive.
Yes. I love that.
That's my truth, girl.
I know. And I am absolutely living for it.
I like that
Living
the
for it.
community enjoys this segment. We
I
always
know,
get
me
like really nice
too.
comments about it.
Me too. And remember, Justice, we read Justice's last week.
Yeah.
So, y'all, please, please, please,
Toast to
please.
teapot@gmail.com. Send us a line and get it off your chest, because we're the
That's
best.
right. I will say it really does feel better once you do it.
Yeah.
Like there's something about it. Like once that 60 seconds comes, you're like, huh, I can do it. Like I love it.
Let it go.
Okay, in the spirit of the Taylor Swift Time magazine article, again, I feel like the thing that really resonated with me is how great things come from major setbacks. And I just feel like I really needed that sentiment. Courtney, you know this, but I am somebody who is constantly comparing myself to others. I'm constantly like, I'm not where I should be. I'm 30. I should be doing this. My bank account doesn't look like this. And I'm always so just like stressed about all of the setbacks and all of the things that I thought were going to happen and then didn't happen. And I feel like I need to just stop doing that. And I need to take solace in the fact that setbacks happen because something greater is coming. And I feel like I've really been trying to do the inner work on myself. I've really been trying to say, you know what? Negative things happen because more positive things are coming. You have to trust the process. You have to trust in God. You have to trust the universe. And it is just so hard for people to do that. And I know it's hard when the chips are down and you're worried and you're stressed and you're looking at the bank account, you're looking at your circumstances, you're looking at your family, you're looking at your friends. It is hard to keep that positivity, but I'm just telling you guys, we have to do it. I can feel it. It's all coming. It's all going to be okay.
You ate that, Maddison Hill. I know that's right.
Yay! We're going to be okay.
We're going to be
Taylor
okay. Period. Setbacks, get out of here.
Exactly.
We're
All right.
receiving.
Exactly. Again, you guys, don't forget to send us in what you want to put in the teapot. I really love hearing from you. I know Courtney loves hearing from you, and it just like makes our day to see our community listening and participating. So thank y'all so, so much. This has been another great episode. Make sure you guys are following us on all of our social media, TikTok, YouTube, and obviously Instagram @ToastedTeaPod. Make sure you are subscribing to the podcast. Make sure you're participating in the Spotify poll as well. Don't forget about that. Courtney, any other places that they need to be listening?
Ring the bell on Spotify. Follow the Spotify account. You mentioned TikTok, right, Madison Hill?
Oh,
Girl,
yes, I did the TikTok and the Instagram.
You
and
done
the
covered it
YouTube.
all. Oh,
I think we covered it all. Also,
Yes.
make sure you're following Courtney. Courtney, let them know where they can follow you.
Oh, yes, absolutely, darling. You can follow me on TikTok @Court Revolution and on Instagram, and if you have threads as well, @Courtney Revolution.
And Courtney, do you also have a Snapchat that people can follow?
Oh, yes, I do have a Snapchat. It's a lot of fun over there. You can follow me at Court Revolution as well.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that we went British. I feel
Just a
like it's
little
very
bit.
smoothing at the end. You can follow me at I am Maddison Hill, 2 Ds. Very easy to remember. Pretty much everywhere. So it's very, very simple.
We're sorry, British people. I know that's
I know.
okay.
I'm sorry. I know we have some people in the UK that are just like, oh, Madison and Courtney, that is.
They just threw their hands up like, you ruined it.
Exactly.
Sorry,
You're
y'all.
not
We love
sorry.
you.
I know. We love you. We try. Okay. We're just trying to live our best crown lives. Don't hate us. You guys, thank you so much for listening again. We will see you next week. Enjoy Pink Friday. Just saying. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.